guys.
Oh, everything's great. Everything's great. Happy New Year to you, Queen.
No, yes, yes. Happy New Year.
I'm just waiting for two more people. One person's going to show up late, but I'm going to kind of see if he can get them on and see what's going on. So the idea behind this, while I'm making sure my other colleague comes on, was because I was seeing all these people talking about, oh my God, AI, oh my God, AI, oh my God, content creation. And I was like, you know what? Black people be doing some cool stuff in AI, and I'm going to highlight them. I just had the idea, Ms. Nixon, and I was like, I'm going to just do it.
Well, I'm not. I didn't do AI. I did animation.
That's fine. I don't care. That's dope too. We promote
Okay.
AI, animation, new content.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. We're gonna get started in a couple of minutes. I'm recording this so we can play it back. I'm gonna send you guys the video and all that stuff too.
Okay. Cool.
Now, see, did you see her sign? She reaching out to 50 Cent to sponsor her amazing animated short. I was like, that's dope on Instagram. I'm not even mad at it. I was like, shoot,
shoot. Hey, did he respond? Did he respond?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay. Hey.
Not yet.
You know, hey, you getting it out in the universe. That's the main thing. That is the main.
That is the main thing. Hold on a second. So I'll make sure that I got this. There I come on. Let me see if I got this. Did they get the code? I gave him the code. Hold on. Okay, fine, I did that. Did I send him that here? Did send him that. I'll make sure he has that. Make sure he has that. Look at the calendar. Make sure he has that. Guys, give me 2 more minutes. I'm coming.
That's good.
How's everybody's week?
Take your time.
How's everybody's week? It's crazy.
Good.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Yep, no need of complaining.
World is crazy. People getting Nobel Peace Prizes off the rip. It must be nice. Let's see. Oh, it's crazy. Invading countries. This is crazy.
Oh yeah.
I know. I kind of take a break away from the news.
You gotta take a break. If you don't take a break, you start. It hurts somebody out here in these streets. Hold on a second, Google. I'm using Google Meet. Hold on, let me send you the link. Sorry, guys. Let's send him this link. Come on. Let's send him this link. Copy. Sorry. The web. That. Oh, did I do that? You got it. You got the link. Okay. Recording. Just waiting for one more person. Come on. Now, see, this is my good colleague Derek Webster. Derek is the director of entrepreneurship for NY New York Institute for Technology downtown, and he also created his own AI Jedi school where he's working he's working with ages 16 to 24, partnered with Workforce One to teach um, teens and young adults AI tools. And he had one of the guys from FUBU come and see all his kids' presentations. And now
okay.
they started to work. Now they started to work with him and doing some cool stuff. So he was like, he was just tired of the Board of Education because he also has a contract with the Board of Education for an organization he and his wife created called Open Door Arts in Education. And they are a contractor for the Board of Education doing AI tech, the whole 9 yards in schools and stuff like that. So do in your Institute of Technology. Hold on. There's a lot of icons just popped up in the building. Hold on a second. I saw what's going on. Hey, Drake, good.
You're funny.
Eric does that. He created his own Jedi school. He was like, I'm tired of us getting left out, Narina. He was like, let me just start training people and training these young kids. So they started creating, Ms. Dixon, they started creating their own apps and own cool stuff, and they get paid to do it.
Mhm. Nice.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is my other good friend, Mr. Andre Mullen. And we went to Brooklyn College together. Andre has a company called Paradigm Music. And Andre, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and talk a little bit, but we're gonna start with ladies first. I'm just and Andre is doing some cool stuff with marketing and promotion using AI content and all that other cool stuff. And he manages some great artists. One artist super big, internationally known on the microphone. And we actually went to Brooklyn College together, he and his wife. So very glad everybody's in the building. I'm just waiting for Mr. D. Webster. Yeah, I'm sorry now. Oh, you on it? Okay, cool. Let me see. Dre, how was your day, bro?
It's Friday, bro. I was running for my life, trying to get out of Friday.
Is that critical? Is that critical?
Bro, we had a release yesterday. Surprise, surprise.
Nice.
And then we have a release Tuesday. So
Okay.
we trying to I've already decided I'm not releasing any music in January ever again. That's it. Told the team today. I said we only work at 12 months a year.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
it. That's it.
That's it? Oh my gosh. Hold on, let me see. Where's I'm waiting for Derek. Hold on a second. Let me just send him the link again. Sorry. So Andre, this is my good friend Nasib Gifted, principal, amazing school in Jersey, Science High School, comic book artist, Hymn Festival founder. He was like, you know what, Comic-Con is cool, but Black comic book creators need their own space. Created that. Working on a toy collection.
Love it.
Right. And we got Miss Dixon. She's dope because she was like, you know what? I see all these cartoons, but nothing represents us. So she was like, you know what? I'm gonna create my own animated cartoon.
Dope.
Boom.
Dope.
Right?
Yes.
Boom.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, I'm just waiting for D Web to come on.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
I met Nora at a Nora, we met at the it was Emmeline Stewart's event, correct? Yes.
Yeah, at the October Film Festival.
Military, served our country well. She was like, you know what, I'm gonna create a film.
Thank you for your service.
Created the film. She's a sharpshooter. Now see, Andre, she's a sharpshooter. She can shoot you from 5,000 feet. She's nice.
He said 5,000 feet.
Listen. She's like, Roger, did you get my bio? She's like, yeah. I just have to say, yes, sir. I know her sharpshooter skills is amazing. I'm not playing around. Okay, I know where I am. I know who I'm talking to. Oh, I'm just waiting for D Web to come on, and let me see if he's on. 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. Okay, we got two. Okay. Got it. Okay, here we go. Not bad, people. Derek, got him. All right, cool. Let's wait for Derek to come in. Derek, you good? Here he is. Here he is.
There he is.
Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. Okay, here he is. Here he is. Hold on. Here he is. Hold on. Here he is. Hold on. All right. I think I got one more person coming in. 1 second.
Oh, you got a packed house today.
Yeah.
We going up on a Friday. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes, sometimes I'm just doing a little secret society. All the access trust. That's all I have.
He said secret
Sometimes
society.
we can't let everybody know what you're doing. I just do a little something.
The secret society.
So we could talk amongst ourselves.
I don't know if I said, Derek, did you sign up for this? Because I don't know. You said secret society.
Yeah. If Trump could do it, I'm doing it too. I'm doing it too. Hold on 1 second, guys. I just gotta do send one more link out. D, how's the day going? I was just talking about your Vanguard Digital school and the Jedi, aka Jedi Academy that you've created. Derek, I want you to meet Nasib. Andre Mullen, and you met Nora. Nora created her own animated short, which is really cool. Did you do it with your son too?
Yes.
That was dope. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hold on, I just want to make sure that's done. Send this link out. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the.
Don't want to discredit, but just got to give her a recognition. She's a award winning.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. You honored her too. I remember you was telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I won an award at his festival.
Yep.
Fire.
Award winning.
Fire.
Okay. We'll get started. Okay. We're gonna get started. All right. Make sure I'm recording. Good. Recording set. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So my name is, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Roger Maloney, host of UFRONT Media News, and welcome to the second annual Digital Soul Forecast. And I'm joined by an esteemed panel. This is this amazing Friday evening. And first of all, what I would love to do is I'm gonna start with ladies first, and then we'll work our way down. And we'll have D, you'll close us out with the introductions. The whole point of this is to highlight amazing AI and new content creators. People are doing amazing. People that are doing stuff in animation and comic books as well. And Nora, I want to start with you, superstar. Thank you so much for joining us, and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and share a little bit about what your film career and your animated series.
Okay, so hello everyone. Good evening. My name is. Sorry about that. My dogs, they want to talk too. They want to join in. But I'm sorry. So yes, so I'm a independent film director. I have two short films. One is a narrative. One is about a military film, which is about a soldier in search of the peace that he lost overseas. And my most recent film is Ethan Art Venture, the animated short film that you mentioned previously. So what exactly you want me to tell them?
Tell me a little bit about your animated feature. And I wasn't sure if you have controls. If you want to show a little bit, if you can, let me know if you want to talk it through. But tell me about the idea, how it came about, and what sparked your interest to say, you know what, it's time for me to step in this arena of animation.
Wow. So when I did the military film, I think that's the time when I met you, like around in
Mm-hmm.
2017 at that, it was October Film Festival, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved to Miami. And at the time, I kind of felt like I moved away from the network that I was establishing in New York and stuff, because I was also working on set as a PA, and AD and things. And when I moved to Miami, I kind of moved south, like into like Homestead. So like the living situation, it was making it a little difficult for me and trying. So I started to figure out, like, think like, what could I do from home, And then at the time, my son, he started drawing. And his drawings were like really good. Like he would watch YouTube and like trace, and then I was like, nah, he's tracing or something. Then I'll get like bigger boards, and I saw that he was like, it was this kid he got a skill or something. So he was just showing me that, when you believe in something, you could just really hone it and it just comes out effortlessly. So I started to think of like, as a director, like, what's my message? My message to my son is that I want him to know that he can create anything that he wants to create, just like he's able to draw and do that so easily. Anything that he put his mind to, he can do. So I figure every parent may want their kid to know this and stuff. So I thought of Ethan Art Ventures, about a young autistic illustrator who learns how to create the narrative in his life. And my long-term goal is to create a TV series, where that I can teach kids different lifelong lessons through each and every episode, through this character, Ethan Art Venture. So I can say that my son was a big inspiration for this. And not only that, I think is also a part of my journey in life, because when I served in the military, I served in Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2003. So when I came home with some residuals of war, when it came to PTSD, anxiety, which at the time I didn't identify. That even when I did that film, I still didn't identify with it, redeploy. But like when I was doing the festivals and when I had to speak to people and other people identified with it, I realized that I was that soldier that was in search of the peace that I had lost overseas. So now moving forward to Ethan Art Ventures, where that I'm teaching kids mindfulness, awareness, and self-confidence, and learning how to believe in themselves and that they have the power to create. Just like an artist can pick up a pencil or a paintbrush and he creates whatever art, is the same way that we can create our narrative in life, through choice, mindful practice, awareness. And those are the things that I learned in my journey when I went through like therapy, all those kind of things. And it keeps me mindful, as well as being able to gift it to others as well.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Let me know if you have the ability to share your screen so we can see some of your stuff. But let me know if you can do that. If you can't, that's cool. If not,
I can try. You got to tell me what to do here, because I never really used Google.
If you want to share, I'm gonna
Okay.
go to Nasid next, and then I'm gonna have you share. Let me know when you're ready. You can share your screen so we can take a look at it. Nasid, I want to have you just spend some time and just introduce yourself and tell us all the amazing things that you're doing with your comic book series and how you created ChemFest, and you're also and the work that you do in for your high school as well, which is amazing stuff.
Okay. Well, peace, everybody. Glad to be here with everybody. My name is Nasid Gifted. I consider myself an empowering Afrofuturistic visionary, and everything that I do kind of fits under that umbrella. I'm an educator, engineer, father, who, saw that, had a conversation with his kid, just like her, and my epiphany came from just the word superhero. I talked to my son about, the word superhero, and when we had this conversation about the word superhero, he can name everyone under the sun, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, but the one thing he didn't name was someone that looked like him. And initially I got upset because, just knowing my household and everything, we talk about, the 3 M's, Malcolm, Marcus, and Martin, comedics and everything. And, so he knows about his history and he has knowledge of self. But, when we talked about the word superhero, he could not imagine himself as that. So like I said, initially I got upset. Then I set off on a journey to, you know, kind of create this world. And, you know, a number of years later, came up with this series called PB Soldier. And then from PB Soldier, that evolved into Blacklisted, as well as Jason, the Rose That Grew from the Concrete. And as I was traveling around the country, you know, promoting the book, doing all of these different things, I noticed that there was a lack of opportunities in my own neighborhood, in my own community. And that's where KimFest was born. And KimFest was a celebration of Black animation, gaming, and comic book creators. So in 2015, we started KimFest. And from then on, you know, just kind of wanted to be able to just be a nexus for the now generation with the next generation of creators and innovators within the space. And like, so all of this stuff kind of stimulated from, you know, like that conversation that I had with my son, and, you know, just been pretty much kind of pushing everything ever since. We just launched our animated short film, you know, based off of the first series, PB Soldier, now known as Blacklisted. And, you know, we got an award for Best Animated Short at the Urban Action Film Festival. You know, we were featured at the Las Vegas Black Film Festival and a number of others. So we just, you know, looking to build, you know, these intellectual properties that we actually have, but also provide a platform for the next generation of creators and innovators. And that's where, you know, kind of everything kind of ties in. And you know, my background is in, you know, engineering, right? So engineers are problem solvers. So I always looked at all of this stuff as a problem that I needed to solve within the community. And that's kind of like been my whole story of how, you know, we got to this point that we are here today.
Thank you, man. And before you ask this question, do you have a copy of comic book and you can show everybody really quick?
I do. Yeah, I do.
I want everybody to see. I want everybody to see some of the issues. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna move on to Dr. Andre Mullen of Paradigm Music. And Andre, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you and you know that AI is a big thing all of a sudden, especially with artists using artificial intelligence to produce. Oh, hold on a second. Take a look at his your book, and you created and produced that comic book.
Yes.
And how many series and how many issues in the series do you have?
So initially we started off with the serials where we had, you know, various issues. So we had like 6 issues that came out, and then that branched off into the graphic novel. So this is actually the newest series, which is Jason, the Rose That Grew from the Concrete, which is the latest series. And then we have PB Soldier, which is now Blacklisted. This was actually 6 issues that were compiled into this graphic novel. It's 176 pages of this story. And then, of course, with the Jason, this is 132 pages of this particular story and everything. And once again, this is the one that we actually just developed the short film off of, and looking to develop a whole series, you know, behind this.
Tell everybody what the series is all about, because when I had invited him to be one of my guest speakers when I was working for Children's Village, and he came with the props, he came with the posters and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
and it's a really amazing stuff. Big shout out to Eddie Bailey. I see you in the building. Ed, how you doing? Good to see you. Go ahead, Naseed. I'm sorry about that.
Oh yeah, no problem. So it's a Afrofuturism adventure set in the near future where we live in a world where everyone's considered a terrorist. PB Soldier, who was considered one of the world's top hackers, has just been labeled a top terror threat and has to work off of the books for the newly formed world government called the Establishment. As he's being trained as an assassin, he actually starts seeing visions of a life that's not of his own, which is actually his ancestors hacking into him while he's hacking into the world. And that's where the story kind of kicks off from, where he's trying to get an understanding of how his past connects with the present and paves a pathway for the future.
That's dope. That's dope stuff.
So that was you know, that's the, you know, like I said, that's the initial series. And then Jason, the Rose That Grew from the Concrete, you know, she was actually in Blacklisted series or PB Soldier, but her popularity actually, you know, allowed us to do a spinoff series with her. But Jason's series, she's a research oncologist who just discovers the cure for cancer and finds herself handcuffed, nearly dead, to a hospital bed, being questioned about the lives of two anti-terrorism squad troopers. And that's where her journey and her adventure kind of starts, where, you know, you kind of peel back the layers of, you know, everything that's going on. And then there's a ton of symbolism. We talk about something as beautiful as a rose, but had to go through so much, you know, turmoil and trial and tribulation to break through and something hard like concrete and still be able to survive.
That's nice. That's powerful stuff. It's timely too. Look at you, right on time.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's funny
now,
because I wrote these a number of years ago, and it's really just kind of catching up to where we are, you know, here today, because it was always a foreshadowing of, you know, what the possible future could be, and that's kind of like always how I look to write series and stuff.
Nice, and thank you so much, Dr. Dre Mullen. Telling me a little bit about some of the artists you manage and your thoughts on how for your marketing. I remember we was having a discussion about some of your marketing campaigns that you were using, starting to use AI to really enhance and promote some of your artists. But tell everybody about your artists and some of the cool things you're using to market the artists.
Thank you, Roger. Known Roger for a long time, so it's actually really cool to be on, and be a part of this discussion. Man, oh boy, AI and music. Every person I know in music hates it. Every person I also know in music is trying to figure out how to keep hold of copyright with it. AI is our friend. You know, there'll be a lot of folks that would say otherwise. Paradigm Music we're a faith-based record label that specializes in artist development, marketing, talent management. There is no way that we could be a record label in 2026 and not use AI to some extent. That would just be crazy. Now, I am definitely opposed to AI artists and AI music. I'm opposed to that as far as presenting it as actual artistry. I'm opposed to that. I will always be opposed to that because you can hear the difference. You can hear the difference in AI music. If you've been doing music as long as I have, or been involved in the music industry as long as I have, then you can tell when things are just too clean. You know, the music sounds like almost like overly produced.
And you can hear it.
It's very easy to, I don't want to say easy, because most people are just most people now are passive music listeners. So if you're not really paying attention to it, you hear the song, you're like, oh my God, this song sounds amazing. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, you have this guy who happens to be a songwriter who uses Suno and Midjourney, and voila, creates this artist that you actually are streaming and you actually love, but that artist you'll never be able to see that artist live. You know, right. You'll never be able to see that artist live. So what has happened is, and the way that you hear different people, different persons in the music industry, you know, that champion AI, that use AI. Obviously, we can name drop because it's public knowledge. You know, Timbaland has been a very strong advocate of AI. In fact, literally creating an AI artist. You have a lot of people. will.i.am has spoken about AI. You know, Wyclef Jean, like they're talking about AI. But AI is for many of us in the music industry, have been in it as long as we have, we also know that AI is not can't really replace artists.
Yeah.
It can't. It really can't.
They're trying though, Dre. They're trying.
Yeah, but it trying, but again, that's for the passive listener. That's not really for fans of an artist. You're not going to become a fan of an AI artist, because at the end of the day, you have a comparison. And especially most of us, all of us on this call are definitely, 30 plus, so our understanding and depth of artists is not what we hear and what even some of our children may be listening to and saying, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's cool because it's a novelty. But in how we use AI as far as paradigm music, right? We're not producing music using AI. That we're not doing. What we are doing though, on the marketing side, is we're using AI to increase our own productivity. As far as prompts. See, that's the thing too. Most people are using chat GPT and AI and just open AI and just the whole AI, everything, every single piece of AI that people are using, they're trying to use it like Google search. That's what they're trying to do. Hey, I want to know, can you do this? That's how they're using AI. However, we forget that we're the creator, right? AI only moves off of a creative prompt. Even just think about it. If I say, hey, I want to create A, B, C, D, right? It's still a creative prompt. That's not AI came up with it by itself. That's why we still, at times, when we see pictures with certain with people in it, they got 7 fingers and their eyes look weird. It's because of prompts. It's not because it's really because people do not know how to use AI. So what's really happening, what happens with us is, and shout out to my team, Matt Johnson, who oversees our graphic design. Matt's been working with me for a really long time, and he understands, and he is a diehard Adobe Creative Suite user, and he was the one that he and I really had a conversation about AI and how he uses AI, and I was like, oh my gosh, Matt, what are you talking about? This is blasphemous what you're saying right now. I can't believe you're telling me you use AI. He's like, yeah, it's all about the prompts. He was like, that's the problem. And so, giving y'all some of our special sauce, which I don't mind, is we'll take a picture, and this is the thing that we do. Like, I have one of our artists, I wish I could show you all the cover, but I can't because it's actually releasing Tuesday. But there was a picture that we literally took of our artist. His name is D. Will. He's releasing a single Tuesday. And we took this picture and I sent it to Matt. I said, Matt, I want this, and this. I want this picture. This song is this. And I want this picture to portray this. All right, cool. Matt came back. I looked at the picture. Hey, most people are gonna look at it and say, wow, that thing is amazingly designed. But there is some AI element in it. There's AI element in it. But Matt's a designer, so it doesn't look like AI. You know what I'm saying? It's design. So that's been kind of our, the way that we've been approaching marketing. These artists that we signed, they were using AI on their own. And some of them, I told them, I was like, oh, listen, yeah, you're not doing no more AI covers because y'all covers look crazy. We're not doing that. This is how we're doing it. And so we structured it that way. That's our quality control. Stuff is just not put out using AI that way. Our marketing campaigns are not based on, oh, I need a 90-day marketing campaign for this release. No, that's not how that goes. Everything, our marketing campaigns is literally like, I'll just giving you a, for example, prompt. I want to create a 60-day marketing campaign for said artist on this single. This single comprises this, and this. I'll give keywords. I'll give like things that we want, how we want to reach the audience, the type of demographic. I'll put all of that stuff in there. I will put it. And I'll then I ask, hey, look, I'll say, help me to bring this to 100% clarity by asking me questions to continue to build this out. And that's how we start building.
Nice. And that's how you start building your stuff.
That's how we start building. This is not, we just throw it all in, ooh-la, and then we go, no. So what ends up happening is we have custom campaigns based on each artist. Now, to your point, and because it's very important that you actually said this, there are cultural things too that we have to be mindful of, because obviously we can just say this with a marketing campaign. I mean, and I know Derek could definitely appreciate this. When you're dealing with different clients or artists, in our case, they're different. So you can't just say, oh yeah, all of y'all are gonna be just like this. For instance, we have an Ethiopian artist, right? He lives in Ethiopia. He is currently Ethiopia's #1 artist, and he's signed to us, right? There's cultural differences, very, very real cultural differences. We just released a single from him on Thursday, and the song is called Maloney, right? I had no idea what that song was about because he also performs in Amharic. I had no idea what the song was about, right? It's a fire song though. Y'all need to listen to it. I had no idea what the cultural reference was. I asked him, I said, all right, what does Yalomi mean? Lomi in Ethiopian, in Amharic means lemon. So I'm like, okay, what's the significance of a lemon? So the cultural significance is, this is a time of year, or this is a season of epiphany in Ethiopia, right? And when a young man wants to court a woman, what he does is he offers her a lemon.
For real? No, would you accept a lemon? And you're saying we're not accepting, y'all not accepting no lemons, right? If you're not doing it. Okay,
I told Rafa on that too. I said, bro, if you was here, bro, there would be fights. It would be real fights. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But coming at you.
Exactly.
Throw the lemon at you.
But he, he gave me this whole breakdown, and I'm looking it up, and lemon and Ethiopian culture means prosperity and luck and good fortune. And yeah, you can't just pigeonhole that with AI. You have to understand the culture. Culture. We have a Latina artist too. Just can't say, hey, everybody's gonna work like this. Yeah, well, there's a whole language here, and even a whole industry that moves a certain way according to the culture. So AI is great. It's great to increase productivity, right? But don't be relying on that joint to give you the answer.
We gotta figure it out. It
doesn't work that way.
We gotta figure it out. Speaking of the answer, there's a gentleman, the next gentleman that I talk to periodically. His name is Derek Bernard Webster, and he is the co-founder of Vanguard Digital and the Vanguard Train and Earn program. And Derek, my question to you is, one, what gave you the idea to create Vanguard Digital, and then you decide to say to yourself, listen, I'm going to create something called the Vanguard Train and Earn program, where he had literally, Derek, how many students you have in your, I call it your Jedi school now? Oh, hold on a second.
You're on mute.
Here, you on mute? No.
No.
No? Hold on a second. You can hear us, but we can't hear you. Oh, hold on a second. I don't have you on mute. I'm gonna say, nope, I don't got you on mute. You can hear us, right, D? You can hear me? Okay. Keep talking, see if I can hear you. No? Yeah? No, I can't. Speaker. Cool. Keep talking. I'm gonna come back. Keep talking. No, I want you to talk about animation, because animation is big business, because you know, we all know like cartoons like from Fairly Odd Parents, you got the anime stuff. And you remember, and then Steph Curry had an anime, and now Andre gets mad at me, called Good Times, that was so ghetto and so hood. Especially that baby that was delivering drugs to the neighborhood was so crazy. Yo, that thing was
A little bit of it. It was
right. So tell me a little bit about why you chose animation, why you chose the demographic you chose. If you have any images and pictures, we would love to hear about it. And tell us some more details about the story behind it and the whole thing, and the platforms that you have your animated project on as well.
All right. Okay, let me start. So the reason why I chose it once again is because of my son. You know, his age at the time was around 6, 7. So I felt like, okay, I could probably figure out the demographic is between the ages 6, maybe to 13, 12 or something of that nature. I chose animation because of, you know, my son, and like that I was living away from the network, away from being able to work on set. So I felt that animation was going to be something easy to do. Just, you know, basically write the script and delegate and just do the voiceovers, and that's it. But then when I got into it, I've learned that animation is quite expensive. You know, they charge per minute, and sometimes that can vary to like 2,000. It all depends on the type of animation you're looking for, whether if it's 3D or 2D. I wanted 3D at first, but then I realized, okay, let me just stick with 2D, and that probably will be good as well. But it's a lot of money. So I had a longer, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's definitely a lot of money. So I was like,
Yeah. So at the time I had like a longer script. I had like 30 minutes, like a 30-minute animated short film. And, you know, when I was speaking with animators and stuff, they were telling me like to chop it down, make it a little shorter and stuff. And I did it for, I think, 7 minutes. But then I also incorporated live action short film because it's about a real kid who lives in his head, the animated world. So that part, so it's mixed with live action, but it's mainly animation. He lives out his life through the animated world, which is in his head. But I chose that because I thought it was interesting. I wanted to teach kids. I wanted to, you know, educate them about this unknowing awareness that they have this power to create the narrative. I feel that not only this message is not for kids, it's for adults, for all of us here to be mindful, to be aware, to be, you know, self-confident and stuff. So if the kids could watch it, the parents could watch it. Another thing is that it takes place from a neighborhood where I'm from. I'm from East Flatbush, Brooklyn. It's a Caribbean infused neighborhood, so it represents all of that in the cartoon. Like I said, it has layers. It speaks about mental health awareness so that kids can become more aware of characteristics and things in life, so they could become more aware. So.
And what platforms do you currently have your animated series on?
Oh, so the current platforms is Fossum TV, Amazon Prime, Quaily TV, TVI, Network. Wow, I can't. Oh, Caribbean Tales TV.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and I think another platform, but I can't think of it now. Yes.
Nice. And what was the feedback when everybody and tell me, and your son, was it that your son inspired you to create this, or
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's cool. And how old is your son?
My son now he is 16 going on 17, but at the time when we started this, that's another thing. We started this probably like I think in 2016 or 17, the summer of 2017 with the script, the storyboard. So each year it took me, it took me a year to accomplish something, like whether if it was the storyboard, whether if it was the voiceovers, then from the voiceovers to the animatic, and then to finding my animators. And
Wow.
yeah, so I kind of stuck with it for so long, and I didn't finish or complete it until 2022.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So, yeah, and I think I kind of exhausted over probably maybe $25,000 to $30,000 within the process.
Ooh. And you
Um,
did a crowdfund as well too? You did a crowdfund?
yeah, I raised about with the pre-production phase and the post phase, I probably raised about 5,000 in total from GoFundMe, and the rest I just paid each year something until I got to the animation phase. That was the big chunk and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. And how many episodes you have? How many that you already have complete, or is it just one big story?
I only have one. It's a short film. That's the one that's on the streaming platform. But I'm now this year we are looking forward to move into production with the series. So
That's good. And Dre, what she did before you came on is that Norton pull up a sign for 50 cents and said, listen, 50, if you're looking for content, I got content right here. I love it.
yeah, you can use something a little. So
I love it.
but what I wanted to say too, alongside from the short film, I'm also conducting a youth empowerment workshop where where I teach kids we speak about emotions. It's another way where I'm able to screen the short film. I speak to them about emotions, about the importance of words of affirmation and why the character uses words of affirmation. One of his words of affirmation is he wants to be the best artist ever and stuff. So we kind of speak about that in the film. We do Q&A about the short film, and then we do like a mindful practice where the kids would close their eyes. They do a closed eye meditative guide. Will walk them through it, and whatever shows up for them in that moment, they will correlate that onto a canvas, tying in the fact that they do have this unknowing power to create the narrative in their life.
That's powerful. That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, see, my question to you is, what was the response when people saw your, especially your students, saw your graphic novel comic book? I've seen the comic book. It's amazing. The artwork and everything is dope. And talk about ChemFest, bro. You didn't get a chance to talk. Why did you create that?
I mean, well, yeah, the two parts with the question. When I work with the young people, I mean, first of all, they see me as gifted, right? The school administrator, but then when they find out that I actually do these, the graphic novel series, I have animation and everything, their eyes open up into a whole new world, being able to create new worlds and stuff and unlock imagination. So being able to unlock imagination where you got young people dreaming again. Because, sometimes sometimes as adults, we take away individual dreaming. So they don't get the dream. They just kind of shoot for goals sometimes, or try to work out through a path that's been made for them. Not something that they made for themselves. And and that's something that we try to deal with. But I mean, it's just pure excitement, and then it kind of unlocks some of their aspirations of stuff that they're looking to do, and conversations and everything. And that's kind of like how it rolls into ChemFest, right? So ChemFest, like I said, was an idea of like how we can bring Comic Con to our local community, where Black and Browns are celebrated, for their innovative genius. We were the creators of the first comics, and they are, they sit on the walls of Kemet, many moons ago, but a lot of people don't see that. It's just that some other individuals took that packaged it and, you know, called it comics, and now, you know, they make millions of dollars off of it. And, you know, with KimFest, you know, we just wanted to make sure that we provided that platform for people who don't generally get the opportunity to be seen on a massive scale, and then also excite young people who are interested in these particular crafts, as far as animation, gaming, as well as comic book creation. But there's a number of STEM and STEAM opportunities that's attached to these particular you know, genres that people like. And there's a lot of people making money, but we don't even know, you know, in our communities about those career paths or those opportunities. You know, when we talk about an animation, you know, which is a big business, you know, when we talk about a full feature film, you know, that ranges from 200 million to, you know, 400 million. And if you look at the credits, you know, there's a ton of individuals that are a part of making that film, you know, what it is. And those are opportunities that our Black and brown babies can take advantage of, you know, so we don't just be the consumer, we can be the creators and innovators within those spaces and stuff, you know. So, I mean, that's the part of KimFest that we try to, you know, show, to try to have, you know, young people as well as adults, you know, explore. You know, I do workshops, and I talk to parents, and, you know, and I ask them, you know, raise their hands of how many, you know.
Oh, let me clarify. You're assistant principal for your high school, correct? Nice.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just want to let everybody know.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm assistant principal for Science Park High School in Newark, New Jersey.
Nice. You're in Newark. Okay.
Yeah.
Newark is nothing to play with. Newark is nothing to play with.
Top magnet schools in Newark, one of the top schools in the state. And then we are ranked in the country as well. But with that, you know, we try to explore, like I said, the career paths that are actually locked in these different opportunities because of that. And like I said, when I do workshops, I talk about, you know, how many people have kids that play the video game. You telling them to get off the video game, you know, because they're playing the game all night, you know. And then my next question is, all right, let's take that energy and transfer it and turn it into something where they're not just playing the game, but they're creating the game. And with that, you know, we could talk about, you know, how they can actually, you know, create and innovate, because the skill sets that you have within comic book creation transfers into filmmaking, animation, you know, all of those things, because all of them starts with stories and storyboards, and then move, you know, into that. So those different skill sets are very transferable to, you know, to these other mediums that they can use to, you know, move forward.
I love it. How many people attend KimFest now?
Generally, for the last couple of years, we've gone to about 1,000, you know, about 1,000 individuals that usually come to KimFest. And now we're trying to expand to do some year-long programming.
They come dressed up. They come dressed up as superheroes and all that stuff. They do the cosplay and all that stuff.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so we have you know, we have the Kim Animation Film Festival with the Queen up there. You know, was actually one of the winners for best animation, you know, for her film.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, along with that, we do STEM and STEAM workshops centered around, you know, animation, gaming, and comic book creation.
I love it. D, you good? I just want to see if we can hear you.
Testing.
Yeah, come on, D. Let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
There represents another individual I talk to on a weekly or minute by minute basis. And Derek is a co-founder. It's crazy. Is a co-founder of Vanguard Digital and Vanguard Train and Earn program. Derek, tell everybody a little bit about your background and talk about the reason why you created Vanguard Digital, and then you also started and launched. I think you had your first cohort, the Vanguard Train and Earn program. Share a little bit about the details about that stuff.
For sure. Thank you, Raj, for the invitation to be a part of this STEAM panel. Good evening, everybody. Derek Webster. I'm an artist. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also a software engineer. And I got started as a teacher back in 2001, and working in Brownsville, Brooklyn. And then was very ambitious. I actually was in my doctoral program at the age of 24. And I think I was just way too young. I was trying to do a lot. And so trying to balance working as a teacher and doing a doctorate and also professionally exhibiting was a lot. So I chose a path, and it was youth development. And then I went into running beacon centers in Brownsville, which is kind of a public-private partnership between nonprofits and the government. And what it does is it gives you a lot of funding, and you can use that funding creatively to fill in gaps. Now, for our young people, a lot of times it was athletics. But for me, because my background is arts, it was arts and technology. So we were one of the first Hewlett Packard Community for Technology programs. There were 50 at the time in the world, and we were one of them in Brownsville, Brooklyn. We got that center there. And then we ran a lot of intergenerational programs, a lot of computer training for our seniors, GED. It was all the rage. It was all the lovely work. But I got really good at grant writing and got really good at raising funds. And around 2007, right before the pandemic, I quit my job and started an out-of-home advertising agency, raised some funding for that. And then 2008, promptly was back on the streets because the market started to collapse. My wife, who is also my partner, is the first entrepreneur in our family. And I always used to look at her and say, well, you look like you have a lot more fun than I am. And she would say, man, this is hard work. So don't knock it till you try it. And so in 2008, I'm fresh out of work. Her business was kind of struggling, and we thought that was the best time to start having kids. No income, just start popping up.
Yeah, we're just gonna add more people to the mix.
Just added the people to the mix, and so we did that, and just proceeded to grind. So the company I was in, I converted it to Vanguard Digital. The aim at the time was to continue on the digital display kind of focus, but then a lot of happening is I started to move with the market. I had a late mentor, who used to say, move with the market, not against it. So at the time, the market was not responding to digital displays, didn't want it. At the time, because the market had shed so many financial sector jobs, that the city had put out a call for consultants to train and to try to retrain and retain the talent. So because of my background in consulting and venture, that was one of the first. I was one of the first consultants for the city to train entrepreneurs or to train financial sector employees to come back into the economy instead of leaving New York and work in startups. So we started to do that work. Then we increased it to small business owners, and then it went from small business owners to ventures to different domains, food business pathways, tech venture, manufacturing. In 2020, we led at least 3 of the city's pilot and foundational programs for tech venture, for manufacturing, and for Black entrepreneurship. We wrote the curriculum, we delivered the program, we built the model, and the model is sustainable. Just had a call with the commissioner of NYC, the Small Business Services, and she said that our model has been followed by large nonprofits to continue to support and fill in the gaps for small business, local entrepreneurs, micro enterprise. They don't have a lot of technical expertise, and we help bring that together. So fast forward to Vanguard. I started to separate the brands. We have a company, Open Door Arts and Education Project, which is our first company. It's the Department of Education student support services provider. Every year, we're in about 20 some odd schools around the city, delivering tech, entrepreneurship, arts, and media. Vanguard is also a provider for schools. We actually have contracts for professional development and instructional technology. We teach teachers how to teach with technology and integrate AI into curriculums. They're not for it. Surprise, surprise,
You all the way.
yeah. Most recently last year, we moved into workforce. So the Train and Earn program is designed to target 18 to 24-year-olds who are not working, who are not in school, who have a high school diploma and want to get certified in AI development skills.
Nice.
We have a partnership right now with Southern Connecticut State University where we developed a micro-credential program in the foundations of generative AI for business. So essentially what we produce are digital transformation specialists. That's the Jedi School. And we deploy these digital transformation specialists on behalf of businesses that need the technical expertise. We take our students from no code to a lot of code, AI generated code. We leverage design thinking. So they come out as problem solvers. They will sit and listen to you and they will build an entire solution for your business that's scalable and they will implement it. These digital transformation specialists, we deploy free of charge. They get deployed in, right now we have our model. Our third company is a tech accelerator that we got funded in 2015. SBA Growth Accelerator. We're regional for the tri-state area. And so we took that nonprofit and to keep the work that we did in the pandemic, focused on small business support. We basically deploy those digital transformation specialists and we pair them with business owners who are now trying to navigate a market that is saturated with AI and they're getting overwhelmed. So our students talk that talk, they walk that walk, and they tough. I swear by them. I'm telling you, they're a problem. They come and they're a problem. They're builders, they're makers, they're designers, they're thinkers, they're disruptors. They do it all, and we train them that way. And they have three pathways. They can either leave our program, go right back to college. That's a win for us. Or they can leave our program and go get a job. We've had students who literally on presentation day get job offers day of. And the third option is entrepreneurship, which we're very much about. And because we are also entrepreneurs. So that's Vanguard, that's Open Door, that's MVP. We have an umbrella company that's In Front. Raj knows what the In Front is about. We used to lament that our community is always behind when new technologies hit and when new movements happen. And I said, Raj, I think it's time we start getting in front of this thing, and there it is. In Front was born. And that's what we do in a nutshell.
I love it. And tell everybody that you had a special guest come in to see these young Jedi students in action. Tell everybody who that guest was. And what was the response?
Yeah, Jay Alexander Martin, co-founder of Fugu. It's funny, we actually gave a case study on, so one of the case studies to train our students to be able to work as consultants in your company is we gave them a case study on a fictitious luxury brand that wanted to go urban. And so it's called Lux Avenue. We gave them this and we told them from start to finish, build a 360 campaign with AI. And they did. And the work is tough. And Jay caught it, and being a specialist in that industry, the fashion industry, they had to stand up and they had to present to him this program. And Jay's hard. Jay doesn't pull any punches. He wanted to challenge their assumptions. And he was, I think, pleasantly surprised that our students do their homework. We focus on the vocabulary, the lexicon that is entrenched in any industry so they can move fluidly and feel like they belong and present like they belong, because they do belong, right? So once they master that language, that's all she wrote. So yeah. And it's interesting because the inspiration behind it, everyone talked about their family. I don't know, Raj, if you want me to tell them what's going on with Lil D.
There's more. There's more.
Yeah, so I mean, we're a family that we try to like practice, you know, what we're preaching and what we're passionate about. And we're fortunate, my wife and I, are that our children have watched us do entrepreneurship, and so they see it as a real pathway. My son, I'm also a professor at New York Tech, and my company is leading the transformation of their entrepreneurship curriculum because they identified that we have to adapt it for AI. And here's the reason why. My son, when he was 17, while in the background, while my wife and I were celebrating 20 years and trying to plan how we're going to, you know, spend our summer, you know, getting remarried and doing all the things in the background, he had his laptop and he's building out this business that him and his friend
in his room,
know, were talking about.
They're in their room chilling
at
building
econ class,
enterprise.
right? Yeah, and I would hear them going back and forth, like, you know, an old married couple. I'm like, that's his boy, you know. I had that time. Me and Raj do that, right? But I'm not paying attention to him seriously, right? Even though I gave him the tools, he's been watching me. But who thinks their children are actually paying attention to you, right? Well, apparently this young man was, because every tool that I had, he has. He asked me for my accounts. There's the free ChatGPT, and then there's my account. There's the free Claude, and then there's my account, right? There's the premium accounts. There's the ultra accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude is at school, flossing with it, and doing what I always preach about, which is stop thinking that it just generates text. This is an intelligence engine, and it helps you bridge every chasm that there is in terms of what you're ignorant to. If you want to be an expert in something, you can go to AI and it will bridge that gap of what you know and what you don't know. So he didn't know how to code. I tried to sit him down a couple times. He wasn't really feeling it. He taught himself to code in the background. These two guys, then 17, built a website called Realer Estate. And it was designed to address the affordable housing crisis. They went from a couple of hundred users to getting featured in the New York Times. And then it was on and popping after that. CBS, ABC, New York One. They now have 100,000 visitors, I think, every week.
Now see this, and he's looking at me like, Uncle Roger, you moving slow, Playboy. I said, okay,
Yeah.
I see you.
Trust
And
me.
they're looking at us like we're slow. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I see you,
Yeah.
your little friend
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
it.
they're quite disrespectful. That generation.
They're disrespectful.
You know, and because he's you know, he's doing his thing. He doesn't want me to talk about their monetary success, but he's doing his thing. And so when I was talking to my faculty, I had to tell them, I said, listen, my son is what you have to be able to attract, because what you going to tell him? He's coming to school already using the world's most foundational and disruptive technology, and he's mastered it year one.
Year one.
So
now, see, by the time he gets to college, he
years?
already finished. He already figured out what he's going to do already, and they get offers out the woodwork.
Let me tell you something. We're mapping out the entrepreneurship curriculum, so we have to literally map out the classes that they have to take in sequence. If I go through all the classes that you have to take, which is Intro to Entrepreneurship, Design Thinking Methodology, Technology, Product Development, Product Management, Building an MVP, Entrepreneurial Finance, Entrepreneurial Strategy. This is all Princeton's, by the way. These are Princeton's benchmarks for a high-level entrepreneurial program. This dude did that already. So I told him, I said, how do we attract this generation where this technology belongs to them? We talked about being digital natives. This is theirs, right? So now that they have it and they possess it, now they have to navigate the world that they are literally tearing down. I can tell you right now, they're tearing this whole thing down. Rod and I are trying to figure out how do we. So I gave this talk, and this talk kind of built its own steam, and it led to the curriculum. Like, how do we, as a Gen Xer, we were told that time over time plus a skill equals market value, right? But now these young people don't need time, right? They just need to make a decision, which is use the technology that can accelerate their skills, right? And their expertise in a subject that they don't know about. They quickly learn it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's to stop them from going to market, right? We used to say, hey, you can't go get a job until you have a degree. Well, they don't need one. They have something right now. Everybody's on the call talking about IP. They have IP that belongs to them. They generated it. It is theirs because it's their prompt, right? You can't be mad that they extracted it out. All of humanity, all of our ingenuity is baked into this system. All of it. So it's like I'm an espresso snob. So you don't get the best. Not everybody can get the best cup of espresso. You got to know how to really work your system, right? And your machine. So yeah, we could use the same beans, but mine tastes better than yours. Simple. It's because of my approach. So they're working on an approach to extract the information in a sequence that is turning for them when they stack the sequence and execute it. It's turning into real value. Like the immediate feedback that they're getting. How are you supposed to reel them back in? Like once they get it.
These seniors in high school. These are seniors in high school, Dre. These seniors in high school.
Let me tell you, this whole thing is upside down. I'm telling you, the economy is upside down, and that's why they're struggling because, you know, I have a unique perspective because my companies work in public education, and I work at a college, and I also work with continuing education. I see what happens. All I have to do is go from 3 different locations, and I can see where we are in our trajectory. The DOE has, for instance, I don't know if they lifted the ban, but they initially banned the use of ChatGPT in school. Okay, that's 2 million plus kids that can't use the technology that everybody else is using. All the teachers are using it, by the way. Let's just be clear. Teachers are using it because it's amazing for lesson planning. Like, who wants to do lesson planning? That's just ask ChatGPT, gives you the format and everything. Boom, right? Now you get more time. So the teachers are using it, but the kids can't use it. That's an equity issue. Yeah. How dare you? How dare you withhold that, right? So we spend our time saying, nah, this is yours. Own it. You can use it, get fly, go to market, build your value. The model, the paradigm is on its head. Don't worry about how we used to be. We used to say you got to pay your dues, which meant you got to wait your turn, which meant you got to put in time. That's not now. That is not now. And that's unfortunate that we keep pushing that. What's now is use it, master it, find a lane, find what the market wants, and just give it that. Because the market has certain needs, but it ain't looking for everything. So, but you can iterate and try different things quickly. Fail, like nobody knows the story like the CBS. Like I said, he got me on a gag order, my son. He's like, nah, you can't tell him what it is. And I told him, I said, nah, I'm telling people because there are people out here literally making money off of you. There are people who are doing PDs off of you in schools. They're like, hey, look at these 2 young men. And I'm like, bro. And I'm like, I can't say anything because once this story is out there, it belongs to everybody. That's AI. All of our ingenuity, every time we put it online in the public domain, it now belongs to everybody. And they scraped it like it did.
I want to say something to that because that is parallel to what's happening in the music industry. You know, you see a lot of the major labels they had no choice but to partner with Suno and partner with OpenAI. And, you know, the initial thought among artists is, oh my gosh, you know, you guys are traitors. This is you.
That's what Kehlani said that about.
But see, here's the bigger picture. It speaks to what Derek is saying. The bigger picture is, first and foremost, I've been on panels and I've said this, and this is not the hill I'm gonna die on, but this is the hill I stand on. There is no innovation in the music industry. There never has been. The music industry says, hey, you created something, that's great. We'll pay you $50 million for it. We'll have it. They'll buy it from you. You'll be excited because they gave you $50 million, but they will do absolutely nothing with it. They just don't want you to do something with it because they don't know what to do with it, right? But what happens is now the reason why labels are buying or partnering with the Suno and OpenAI and all of these and pretty much these companies that are working with generative AI on the music side, the reason why they partner with them is because they're trying to hold on to copyrights.
Yeah.
That's all they're trying to do. They're just trying to make sure that, hey, you better not use our music that we own the copyrights for to create something new. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad because at the end of the day, what happens is, again, that whole gatekeeping situation. Hey guys, we know AI is out here. We just don't want you to use it. And you can't do that. It literally, I tell people all the time, I'd be a clown if I sat here and said, nah, man, I'm never using AI in my business. I would be a bona fide clown. I use AI probably 70% of my day. Just whether it is drafting campaigns, whether it is drafting agreements, whether it is, drafting copy, I'm using it. It literally increases my productivity. To be fair and to be honest with you all, I probably work only 3 hours a day.
Yeah, and you out.
I for real. And that's to say that, I found ways to increase my productivity where I can reclaim my time. But it definitely happens that AI is helping me with that. And for everything that we all do, we are a part of that generation. I was like, yeah, man, you gotta work it out. You gotta hustle that out. You gotta, and it's like, one of the first things I've even told artist managers is like, listen, if you're not using technology, your artist client will never be paid. They will never have sustainability. And if you're not using technology, let me tell you something, you're gonna get left behind. You know how many artist managers I have spoken to that tell me how they keep books on Excel spreadsheets? I literally have moved from, it's been almost a year since I've used Excel spreadsheets for anything administrative wise. I use Airtable and I build data sets on Airtable. When I found Airtable, I felt like I got a baby. I felt like we gave birth. I was like, oh my gosh, where has this been all my life? You mean to tell me I could take this information, put it in this table, automate it, and then all I have to do is plug this, that. Man, listen, between there, and there's still stuff, and I don't know if any of you all are familiar with Gumloop. I got put on the Gumloop a few months ago to automate. So I now, I'm gonna tell you on my tech stack real quick. So personally, I use Notion. Notion is my main tech stack.
You like Notion? Okay.
Yeah. Project management with my team, with my designers and our producer, we use Asana. For A&R administration, I use and really for our release schedule, stuff like that, I use Airtable because it's automated, right? Somebody put me on to using Gumloop. Gumloop, you can literally build AI agents. So, and it works. Think of, if you all are familiar with Zapier, think of Zapier. Gumloop is the AI, is the coked out version, AI version of Zapier.
That's funny.
So I literally have workflows where I've connected Notion to Airtable, Airtable to Notion, Notion to Asana. Like it's wild using Gumroad. It's wild. So that's why I tell you, when I literally sit and I tell people, yeah, I don't really work. They're like, what are you talking about? You run a label. Yeah, I mean, even though I only have 4 artists, but they are sizable, my day is really like 3-4 hours long. Like for real.
Crazy. That's crazy. Nora, you said you wanted to I'm gonna connect you with Derek so you guys could chat, but you wanted to show us something of some parts of your animation. Yeah. Oh, you're on mute. Hold on a second.
Still on mute to me.
Oh, you can unmute yourself. You good?
Oh man, sorry about that.
No, you good.
I said, you sure we have time? Because it's like a minute, 2 minutes, a minute.
Yeah,
and a-
we got time.
Okay, so let me share my screen.
And then we're gonna close out with you because you literally got on SOAR and went crazy.
Did I share my screen? Is it working? Okay.
Let me know if it's.
It says it's starting. Presentation is starting.
I'm trying to see if I can see it. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me see if I give you control. Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me okay, like what happened? So I'm gonna show you the trailer.
Okay.
Let me know if you could hear it. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, play. Let's see if we can hear it.
You can hear it?
No, we can't hear it. But talk us through as we look at it. Talk us through. That's fine.
Okay, so this is the neighborhood where I'm from, East Flatbush, Brooklyn. This is
This
a
is
building, 95th Street. In this scene, you hear the mom's just telling him to go to sleep and put away his pencil. He has an art competition in the morning, but instead he's gonna draw.
Yo, this is
So
dope.
this is where Ethan goes into his little world when he's drawing. He ends up drawing the night away, and then he wakes up late from school in that scene. In this scene, he's in a park and he meets a fortune teller where he has to make a wish.
Oh, this is crazy. This is nice.
So that's his art teacher, who is like Mr. Gregory. He's like a man of many hats. Sometimes you might find him driving the Uber. You might find him doing this, working at the store. But he's a passionate teacher who correlates art with life.
Love it. Love
Now,
it.
this is his mother. Sorry. And she reinforces that he should believe in himself and it's not the pencil. And this is the teacher, Mr. Gregory, who was the fortune teller in his dream. And his wish is to be the best artist ever. So this pencil basically makes him feel powerful, but really and truly, it's really coming from within.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Now see why she got the award. That's dope. That's dope. That's super dope. That's super dope. Derek, she wants to connect with you. Y'all need to chat. She needs some advice from you. But this is dope.
This is just some stills. Same thing that you basically saw. Oh, this is another scene. This is a classmate of his who brings in doubt, who he feels is a better artist than him. But he has like a whole different family dynamic where his father doesn't really approve of him being an artist. He wants him to do something more concrete.
Sound familiar?
But he wants to be who he wants to be, obviously.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, that's a true West Indian household. I love it.
For sure.
Oh yeah, then the West Indian guy, he's actually from an old Caribbean West Indian group called the Innocent Crew. And he's also an actor and he's currently doing music as well. And he also has his own series. So it was pretty cool to work with him. It's very funny.
Congratulations, superstar. That's dope. That's super dope. That's super dope. Eddie Bailey. Eddie Bailey is a friend of mine, and And then after Ed, I'm gonna have everybody just share all the information so we can connect and now see we want to find out the information where you could buy, where we could purchase the comic books, and tell us when the NEPChem Fest is coming out and anything you got going on as well too. I met Eddie Bailey because a mutual friend of ours had a radio show called 950 The Lounge. Eddie actually DJ, radio host, started using, when did you start using Sora, Ed? When literally this year?
Yeah, I first I want to say thank you for allowing me to be here, and peace out to each one of y'all. You guys are entrepreneurs, and it's great listening to each one of you. You all are uplifting. Continue doing what you're doing because it's words of encouragement to me. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me. I am like a cat. A cat has 9 lives, right? So let me just refer so you understand this. I had 8 surgeries with 1 pending, and I've overcame each one of them. You're talking to a person that just came from having a tumor taken out of my brain the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and listen to me talk to you right now. Okay, so that's number 1, along with having both of my legs fixed. I mean, hip surgery, back surgery, everything. So I call myself, ladies and gentlemen, the world's first Black bionic man. Number 1. That's me, Eddie Bailey.
I was actually going to call you that, the Bionic Man.
I was gonna say
That's Bionic Man.
I was gonna say the Miracle Man.
The miracle. So I'm sitting home recovering, and all of a sudden, my guy calls and checks on me all the time. That's Roger. And I'm sitting here, and I say to Roger, I says, you know how you just say, Triple OG, I know you're always thinking about something coming back, doing big with the music and everything like this. And then, so I get on here, and my brothers are in here, and I see them making all funny faces and all kind of stuff. And I said, so what is this y'all doing? It's some stuff called Sora. So I'm like, okay. So he shows me, he says, yo, you got to get in here and do this. And I said, okay, how do I do this? He said, you got to do this. And they yelling at me. Don't have big brothers, because that's what they do. Oh, man, you got to do this. You got to, and then finally you get in. And then I'm the youngest out of 7. 1 passed away. It's 8, right? So now I'm the youngest, so they always call me this, but I'm the text and the brain. So now they show me something and then get mad when I master it. So I get in, and then I get a character. Next thing I know, I get a text from Raj. Raj says, yo, I see you doing this, you going all kind of stuff, and I'm telling it what to do, and driving all kind of luxury cars down the street and everything,
Right.
Jumping into mansions and all kind of stuff. So then I speak to Raj, and I'm like, I think, Raj, there's something missing out of this or something. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna try something. So then, we just celebrated 50 years of the $6 Million Man on TV and all this stuff. And so I said, you know what? That's it right there. And I'd be jumping around saying I'm the world's first Black bionic man. So I took the trailer, clip it, put it in here, and all of a sudden, I'm looking. So how you got to you watch it a few 4 or 5 times, flying down the street, doing this. So I start putting more stuff to it. Then I get yours truly, Roger. We start talking and start this. And I said, Roger, what you think about this? He said, yeah, you really doing it. So I started acting like Luke Cage. You're in the street, going through here, going here, taking a little bit of these things. But keeping it, I'm old school. So, I take it from the old Batman and Robin and this and that. I'm from that. We all from that area. So, we know that stuff.
So Ed used to hang out and DJ with Red Alert and all those
With
guys.
everybody.
Violate
So when you shout out to all you Brooklyn people, you back there, New Jersey, everybody. I know I didn't heard it all. We uptown. I'm from uptown. And I actually live in the South. You know, so that's why my legs is still is Cooper can't take the snow like I used to in the cold weather. But more importantly, so I started doing all these different things, and then I came up with this concept of doing this, the world's first bionic man. And like Rod said, you know, I started taking piece by piece and staying up doing this and, you know, listening to, and it's very interesting listening to each one of you, because each one of you, I take a piece, it's like I take a piece of the concept from each one of you, and then I'm sitting here and like I'm digital. You know, I'm sitting there going, wow. Now this brother Bernard, he's this. Andre done talked about this. No, she took this, and this is a comic book. And each one of y'all, I done got a taste of each one of that to say, in my tech brain right this second, I'm doing a little bit of each. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow.
Tell him that Ed built his own online radio station straight from his house. And
yeah, about 8 years ago, like you said, my cousins 950 Kev and Rodeo, you know, they told us what we was going to do and got on the show. So Roger and I were just guests in the background. And, you know, they always say, oh, you stand on the sideline. Oh, what we going to get this? So I just listen and learn. So they didn't show us nothing. So Roger and I was trying to get different things to put on the show. I said, Raj, how are we going to? So Raj showed me this app, you know, and then Roger and I became good friends from an app, just one app. So I started taking cuts and pictures of this and that. And that's how I used to make my promos. Well, guys, I will tell you this. Because of Roger telling me this, then the owner of the radio show said, hey, what about if your cousin wanted to get a radio station or, you know, his own show? So I got on their show, he interviewed and everything, and that worked out well. And next thing you know, the owner offered me my own show. So they wanted to call me Cousin Ed and all this other stuff. And I said, man, I'm old school, man. I said, I'm old school. I don't do that. So we would leave the show and we would go to City Island for lunch. And after we go to City Island, eat, we come back. So the next week I got back on the show and people started seeing me on there with them. So this lady got on and said, my question is directed to the OG guy, the triple OG. And then my cousin said, who, triple OG? So that's how I got my name, which was triple OG. So they would call me Triple OG. And then by the time we came back, the owner had asked me, hey, did he think of a name of the show? The lights came on, and the next day I just said, you know what? I'm going to name my show Old School Chronicles. Would that be okay? And he said, Old School Chronicles? Yeah. So you know, you say something like you say this to yourself and you're doing this, and next thing you know, I was doing that. And it just became an instant. So I said that to say, they always say never. And these are the same ones who told me they was going to help me with this. And well, they never helped me with anything. And then I just went out and just used everything I did. I would go to the nightclubs, the spots, all the latest places and everything. And I learned and I knew all the DJs from being a DJ back in the days, here, this and that. So I started bringing them in the station. So I started bringing in, like you said, my revenue started going up and surpassed all of them and everybody. So, you know, they would come in. The owner was like, I really like this guy. Then they started having different award shows. And I started doing all of these different things and moved into that atmosphere. But to move back into this next bracket, Roger, I found out Roger was like, I mean, you're going so crazy. So I started taking all of these things, like I said, putting it into here, saying I'm taking it and saying, okay, I'm going to the mansion, I'm doing this and going here and all this. So I start catching people and start doing all these other things. So then I created the world's first Black bionic man. So it's now, I'm sitting here and I'm on, like you said, was a word of advice. Write out what you're saying and you know what you're doing, because AI doesn't tell you everything you need. You got to you got to remind and do your own stuff. You know what I mean? You know, and be original and be entrepreneur. So I do that and everything, but I do use it I use it to a certain degree, and I give it what it is, but it's just a sense of direction for me doing it. You know what I mean? And then listening to you guys, really, y'all lay it down really good. And I appreciate learning a little bit more because it's like absorbance and you learn different things. So, you know, I definitely appreciate the leadership there and all that, but look out. And like you guys, I got a book that's going to be coming out too, because I took what I want my people to understand is that we live in a world with
And how
technology.
fast did you create your book? How fast did you create your book?
I created my book. This guy would tell me, he would give me stuff to look up. And when he go, and the next day, he give me stuff. I created the book in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
2 hours. 2 hours I created the book. I told everything what I needed, gave it this, and it created, and it generated. I took each one of my surgeries, and it gets deep on each one of them, from fusions to hips, both of my hips replaced, to my back replaced, this all the way to the tumor taken out of my brain.
So you use AI and created a book, and
I use AI to help create the whole thing.
And then he's using AI to create Dre, and I say he's using AI to create an AI generated radio station with him.
Yeah.
And him taking his experiences working with DJ Red Alert and creating scenarios with him creating his own radio station, and he want to put that out as a film. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's insane. I know it's getting late, so I want to have everybody just go around the room before we go. And I see I'm gonna talk with you. Tell everybody what you're working on, where we could buy your comic books. When's the next Kim Fest? Because you got 1,000+ people coming to this event dressed up as the Black Panther. That's crazy. I like that. You know, I like that a lot. That's crazy. We're not coming to Comic-Con. We're coming to your event. So there's no where we at. We've got to come to Jersey. We got to come to Jersey. You moving man.
So I mean, so the next Kim Fest is actually in September, but in lieu of that, we actually have the Wakanda Ball that's going to be happening on February 14th. So the Wakanda Ball, we're commandeering, Valentine's Day, and we're going to be celebrating, Black love, community, and family. Where we actually have to take the opportunity to love on ourselves as a community and be able to bring that back. Part of the reason that we have the social ills that we have is because we don't love enough of ourselves to be able to, kind of come together and everything. So that's where we're going to be celebrating the Wakanda Ball. That's going to be on February 14th. We got Kim Fest in September. And, constantly in the background, one of the things I didn't get an opportunity to say is, what I do with AI, and one of the things that Andre was talking about, I'm as a creator, that there's so many different things. You have the one side of artists that's totally against AI, and then you have the other side of individuals like, look, let's talk about the big tech layoff or whatever, right? It was 245,000 jobs that were lost last year alone. 70% of those in the U.S. and then 55,000 jobs because of this new AI push. So if you're not using AI, you're definitely going to be stuck in a stone age. And the way I always talk about AI is I always say it's either a weapon or a tool. If you already have an enhanced skill set in your particular field, it will help with your workflow. It will be an asset to you because it's going to be a thought partner, right? It's going to be, but you need to have some know-how and expertise to be able to access and use the tool. It's like the calculator, the calculator is great, but unless you know what the inputs are, you can't actually get the output that you actually want. You can play around with it. You can go down the rabbit hole of prompt, engineering and all of this stuff, and you can create some things, but you still definitely need to be able to develop and have a framework. I mean, even if you use it to develop the outline, then go into the book and then do all the other stuff, all of that, but you still got to have some type of planning to go along with it, so you can know what your direction is going to be. So your velocity, size with direction, so that's what I was talking about with that. But definitely working, and when I say that and going into what Nora and what I was doing, animation is very expensive, right? So one of the things that I've used, AI to do, I've already had the script, I had all of these different things. When we talk about storyboarding, when you talk about doing the in-betweens, there's different tools out there now that's actually, being able to take your storyboard and then kind of it hasn't perfected it yet. There's still some work that needs to be done, but there's actually, ways to be able to kind of streamline, if you wanted to do an 8-second promo, if you wanted to do a 10-second promo, there's still a lot of things that they need to work out in order to do a full feature film. You know what I'm saying? That's of your original work. Now, if you wanted to kind of, and they do have some consistency errors, depending on what platform that you're using and everything like that. I mean, I'm just saying on AI, I mean, in the animation realm, they're doing really well with video, like with straight, real, ultra realistic video. Like they're doing really, really well with that. With the 6 fingers and all that stuff, they kind of corrected that a lot, on some of the tools. But they're really, really doing well with video. So animation is definitely going to be right behind that. They got the voiceovers, they got the, all of the other tools and everything. But you definitely need to use it as it is, which is a tool. And I know what Derek was talking about with his son, the speed of lightning of what these young people are actually being able to take this tool and be able to generate some things is phenomenal. I mean, from my computer science classes and everything, we have to actually break the programs up so they can't just use AI to kind of generate that, because AI is actually generating computer programs, for a computer science class and everything. But the part that they need to understand is the process, right? The process of, why, this particular code works, because now if you need to debug it, if you need to, repair it or do anything else to it, you need to be able to have the access to that. And I'm sorry, I just went into that whole thing. But Wakanda Ball, February 14th. Now, see, Gifted, you can reach us you can reach me at Director Gifted on Instagram. But Black Star Creative Collective is our website where you can actually get the books. Jason and PB Soldier, aka Blacklisted.
Good job. Good job. Dre Mullen, anything popping up for you, bro? Oh, you muted. You're muted. You're right. You're muted.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh, Andre, you go next. You go next, Dre. What
yeah.
you got? What's happening with your artists and things happening?
Aggressive release schedule over the next 90 days. Like I said, we dropped this. We released pretty much a surprise release from our Ethiopian artist Rahman Thursday, featuring a Tanzanian artist. Mark my words, you guys heard it here first. Rahman is Ethiopian's Bad Bunny. He definitely has and carries Ethiopia on his back. So we're preparing for his first release with us, album release coming in September. Oh my gosh, this year we're doing a Christmas project. We have releases from our other three artists, D Will, Jody Torres, and Nyx. Just on the from the growth of the business side, we're just expanding. I'm doing something I believe doing something very different that most labels don't do, or at least independent labels don't do, is they don't focus on capacity, building capacity and infrastructure. They just focus on, hey, let's get as many artists as we can and distribute as many artists as we can so we can make as little money as we can. But I'm very focused on building a sustainable business. I'm not out here just trying to add artists for the sake of adding artists. That's why we're in the business of artist development. So just got a lot going. We're building. We've been building kind of in stealth. I'm not about the trendy thing of, hey, let's build in public. Let's everybody see our mistakes and our flaws. I'm not about that. I'm about, hey, look, just do the work. Forget all, hey, I gotta show everybody how it's done and all the mistakes I made. Just do the work. And you know what I'm saying? And just show that you actually can build something. I'm really for we respect the art, we empower music with a purpose, and I want to see artists win. So that's what's happening this year with Paradigm Music.
Nice. D Web, you're up next, sir.
Hey, I'm gonna put the link to our website in the chat. So again, on January 20th, we're launching, which is next week, we're launching our next cohort for train and earn participants. Again, I don't think I said this part, but it's called train and earn because the young people get paid. They get paid. They receive workforce readiness training. They learn how to work for the first 2 weeks. Then they get occupational skills training, which is me in the lab, really unpacking what this technology is, what it does, and how to exploit it in different ways. And then the third part is they go into the internship where they are paid 18,450 hours working as digital transformation specialists for small business owners at no cost to the employer. They also receive mental health and wellness support, management. This is a full wraparound service. We're one of 15 providers throughout the city, federally funded. So if you have a young person that's 18 to 24, not engaged, not in school, does have a high school diploma, who's looking for their next step as an in-between step, they do earn a college micro-credential. This program is backed by Southern Connecticut State. It'll be on a college campus right now we're on the New York Institute of Technology's campus at Columbus Circle. We'll be there until we are not. We are moving to a new facility, but for now we're on campus, so I'll get a little bit of that taste as well. So yeah, I'll put that in the chat, and also please feel free to share the videos, which I didn't get a chance to share them, but by all means, please fill up. We have videos that actually break down what the young people will learn, as well as the mindset and some of the feedback that we have from our participants. This one is my favorite one, where they're talking about David, who's one of our students, where he talked about that we don't tell you how to consume tech, we teach you how to use it to change your circumstances. So that's our work, that's what we're doing, and that's on the Horizon January 20th cohort. There's still slots available. We have about at least another week and a half, so please send folks our way. I'm also going to put my email in the chat, and hope to see you guys again, and hope to serve some of your young people.
Cool. No, you're up next. You're going to close us out. Tell us how we can support that amazing animation, and how can we share it? How can we get in front of some more kids and students? That'd be great. Oh, unmute yourself.
One way you guys can support it is to go online and, stream on and share the streaming platform on Fawsome TV, Amazon Prime, Quelly TV, and a few others, Caribbean Tales. But mainly, if you do go Quelly TV, I would say, and Fawsome. Fawsome is a free link where you guys are able to see it. I could put it in the chat as well. Another thing is you could also follow the website, and I'll have updates. I'm about to change the website, and make it more interactive for kids. And, there'll be a lot of other entertaining things, engaging, like apps and stuff and so forth. Another way to connect is, if there's anything that you can assist when it comes to the workshop and me conducting this workshop with like-minded organizations, please feel free to reach out and share any resources that you might have. And I'll put my email in the chat, and you can connect with me there, or even through the website.
That's good. I see you, Mrs. Walt Disney. It looks good. That animation looks good. Congratulations. It looks dope. I'm Roger Maloney. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. And I'm going to share the video with you guys. I greatly appreciate you guys joining me for this event. And I want you guys to have a great weekend. Thank you so much.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
All right, bye.
All right, everyone. Peace. Good night.
Good night.